Hi, my name is Timmy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I drew this beautiful supermodel Adut using the Arteza Everblend skin tone markers on mixed media paper. Firstly, a massive shout out to Arteza. I was kindly sent these markers to try. I will share my honest thoughts about these markers. I use the markers as the base. If you're familiar with any of my work, I normally use pan pastels as the base, so this was a very interesting experience for me. I've got all the materials I use listed and linked down in the description box. I've also listed all the color numbers I use just in case you wanted to try this drawing with me. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe if you're new. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Okay, so here are the items I received. Firstly, the portrait set of markers. Looks like a really nice set of colours. I'm really excited. And the mixed media sketch pad. Okay, and they come in rows. Look how nice. Ah, chocolate. I love this. This looks edible. Before I do the swatches, this is what the pen looks like. I swatched these markers in the order that they came in, and from first impressions it looks like it's got a really nice range of colours, of light tones, medium and then darker tones. It also seems to have some very nice transitionary and warmer colours to help with the depth. But I thought it would also be important to try to figure out which colours I would use to make the different kinds of skin tones. So I've got 4 sketches on my paper, so I'm planning on doing a light, medium, dark and deep. And I show each of the colour combinations and numbers that I chose for each of the swatches. I think the light swatch worked out really well. The colours seem to blend really nicely together. The medium seemed to also work quite well. I didn't focus on any blending at all, but the colour selection seemed to work well. The dark, I don't love it, and this is why I chose to draw a dark skin person for my trial, because I just did not love how it came out. And same with the deep dark, it's just looking a little bit higgity-haggity. Now this might have something to do with the specific colours that I chose, and it would differ depending on the reference picture I'm using, but I wasn't impressed with the darker colours and how they came together at this point. I decided to draw this picture of this model, and I always put my reference on my iPad. I think it's a lot easier than printing loads of pictures out. I put it side by side to the swatches, and I tried to understand which colours I could see in the swatches to understand which colours I would need for the piece. I did my sketch on a separate bit of paper and I shaded the back and then transferred it over to the sketchbook. This is a technique that I use for all my normal pieces, and I do this because I would like to avoid rubbing out on the actual sketchpad paper, so I make all my mistakes on this printer paper and then I transfer the drawing when I'm happy with it. The next thing I did was I looked at the reference picture and my swatches next to each other, and I wrote down the different colours that I thought I would need in the different parts of the drawing. Now this was my first marker drawing, so it was important for me to approach it with as much caution as possible. The reason I did this was because the colour on the back of the marker doesn't directly match what you actually see on paper, so I didn't want to rely on looking at that colour to dictate what I use. So I looked at the swatches and then I used this almost as a plan for how to tackle the actual drawing. I've linked the materials in the description box. They are affiliate links, so if you're interested in supporting me, then please use those links to purchase the markers and the notebook. But if not, you can just search for the markers on their website. Start with the eyes as usual. One thing I know for sure, especially for my self-portrait video, is that I don't want to do the skin before I'm sure the eyes are okay. So I just put down the markers and I put down all the colours that I could see. I tried to keep it as abstract as possible. I wasn't actually trying to blend. I was just trying to place down the colours in the best way I knew how. Then when I was done with the abstract look of the eyes, I went onto the skin, and you can see that I'm being very bold with my colour choices and being quite intentional with the positions of the colours. And again, I'm not trying to blend, I'm just trying to put colours down where I see fit. Because I'm drawing on white paper, I left the white of the page white, and this is a great technique because you can blend out a lot easier, and then you can add more white if you feel you need it. With the markers, I also had to do some layering, so I just kept going over it depending on what colour I saw best. I think it produced a very nice blend. I've listed all the numbers of all the markers that I've used down in the description box. So this is what the marker base looks like, and now I'm going to go over the drawing in colour and pencils. I want to see how each of these lay out over the markers. So first I've got the Prismacolors, and it's got a very nice waxy feel, and it definitely feels like it can layer quite well. I've got the Faber-Castells, and this is a lot harder to layer. And finally with the Luminance pencils, so this is just like the Prismacolor, very nice to layer. In the end, I decided to use the Caran d'Ache primarily, and then I used the Prismacolors. Unfortunately, the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils have quite a limited palette with their skin tone colours, so the Prismacolors really came to the rescue. At this point, I was at somewhat comfortable part of the drawing where I was using my materials of choice, colour and pencils. I was just doing as much layering as I could, and of course I used markers for things like the eyelashes and parts of the eyebrows, but this is honestly the same as all my other drawings. If you check any of my other speed drawing videos, you will see this. If you're interested in the technique behind colouring and blending, I would advise you to watch any of the videos in my speed drawing playlist, but all of this just came down to layering and patience and perseverance. After a lot of blending, I'm really liking how the drawing is coming out, and especially after the lips were done, I realised that after the shine was added on the lips, and the white pen I used was the Sakura Jelly Roll in 08. So after the lips were done, after the skin was blended, the piece was really starting to come together, and I was loving how it would turn out. I did add some white on the skin for the extra shine, and then I began with the hair. Colouring in short hair is always difficult. I've done it a few times in the past and I've never really enjoyed it, so it was an interesting challenge. But the hair colour was a mixture of browns, and then by the hairline it was a lot lighter, so it was kind of hard for me to blend it completely. I also coloured in the neck, and I managed to create a really nice blend on the neck. This is the kind of blend that I didn't practice with the skin, but it just shows that the markers are capable of doing this. So with a bit of blending on the neck, the rest of the hair and the ear, the piece is finally complete, and oh my gosh guys, I love how it came out. I just think this piece looks so beautiful, and I think it pops greatly against the background. So my final thoughts on these markers: they have a beautiful colour selection, a beautiful range, and they are very good quality. The chisel tip allows you to hold the marker with a lot of control while covering a large area, and the pointer tip is actually really nice for detail and covering smaller areas, so I think it works together really well. I think I get a much smoother blend using pan pastels rather than markers, but it was an interesting challenge. These markers are good quality. I haven't used markers for my base before, so I can't really say to how they compare to other markers, but I'm not mad at this. So thank you so much for watching this video guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So please like this video, please subscribe, and tell me what you think down in the comment section. Do stick around on the channel. I've got a whole playlist of speed drawing videos and drawing tutorials, so definitely check those out, and I will see you on my next video. Goodbye.